my loves, hi my loves. It is Elizabeth, Countess of Low Carb here. Happy Wednesday. Surprise, as I'm getting that set up. Surprise! It has been a crazy day and I want to talk tonight on our live stream about keto info, keto for beginners. If you like this video, smash that like button. Make sure you click subscribe to see all things keto, all things intermittent fasting, and also make sure you sign up for my weekly Wednesday keto meal plan. It's a free resource that I give to the entire Countess of Low Carb community as my thank you to you guys for being on this journey with me. I am so pumped to talk to you tonight about keto info, keto for beginners. If you are a beginner, throw down in the comments a beginner, so I know who's a seasoned vet and who's not. And if you are a seasoned vet, I would encourage you still to watch this video to learn some weight loss style techniques in case you're having those. So let's dive in. I've got a bunch of tips. Tip number one, if you are new to keto and you don't really know what you're doing with the ketogenic diet and you're just starting the ketogenic diet, my experience has been 2 years on keto in April. It is April. Hello. It's 2 years on keto. I've lost 67 pounds. I'm chugging towards a 100-pound weight loss journey. In the midst of that 2 years, some people ask, I did have a pregnancy. My daughter passed in the second trimester, which is why I've been stalled at this weight. So now you know, so people don't need to ask me, why are you at that weight? It's kind of a sensitive topic, but I am chugging towards that 100-pound weight loss goal. And so I want to review with everybody for keto beginners and seasoned vets what we need to do. So first off, keto is high fat, moderate protein, low carb. And so what I would suggest, one, is figure out your macros. Macros are fat, your protein, and your carbs or net carbs. And those are 20 carbs or net carbs, depending on which way you want to count those. So first you're gonna figure those out. In the description link below, after this live video, I'm going to have for you a free resource to get your own body's biometrics for fat and for your protein. We already know that carbs or net carbs is 20, so you don't need to worry about that. It's specifically your body's fat and your body's protein, and I have a free link. Don't buy it, get it free from me. Number two is then you're gonna start tracking those macros, and if you've had a weight loss stall from doing keto, you may have eaten Atkins-like. Atkins, the difference between Atkins and keto, which I used to do, did anyone do that in like late 90s? Hello, I did. Is that Atkins, you may go into ketosis. On the ketogenic diet, you force your body to go into ketosis, which is a great thing. Of where you're really in a fat burning state. So track your macros after you figure out what they are. Then you start tracking them for food and eating high fat, moderate protein, low carb. Sometimes people think, oh, I'm gonna eat a ton of protein. Wrong! That is a big mistake people make because protein is moderate protein, not high protein, it's high fats. Moderate protein, low carb. And where some people can get kind of confused doing keto is that they may eat way too much protein. Hello, tonight I was tracking my macros for people in my Royal Court group coaching. I was way over on protein. I was like, oh, like I know better. I've been doing this for 2 years. But it happens sometimes if you aren't paying attention or if you're rushing through. I use the app Carb Manager Premium. I've recently moved to the paid version. I'm not sponsored by them. I don't even have an affiliate link from them. I used to use the free MyFitnessPal, but MyFitnessPal does not track net carbs, and I usually follow net carbs. So tip number three is when you're tracking your macros, your fat, your protein, and your carbs, use either carbs or net carbs. Carbs, use that if you have a lot of processed food. If you eat a lot of packaged food, sorry boo, you're gonna need to track carbs because net carbs is carbs minus fiber, and if you get that through a package, food manufacturers are sneaky. They do creepy carbs and they will put things on that label, that package label, that are deceptive. It's a lie. And so if you're eating more real food like meats, vegetables, then you can track net carbs a little bit better. Carbs are also more aggressive in tracking. And so if you've ever seen any of my Keto Success interview, which I have over 400 free videos that you can watch, you can see that I always ask in success interviews, do you track carbs or net carbs? Because it's fascinating. It's totally personal discretion. Sometimes I track fully carbs and usually I track net carbs. If I'm eating packaged foods, I say lean towards having regular carb tracking. Okay, so we said one, figure out your personal fat and your protein and your 20 net carbs or carbs. That's called macros. Number two is track those macros on a daily basis. Every time you can track in advance, however you feel so inclined or track it that day. Number three is eating keto. And so I have a lot of videos called Easy Keto or Lazy Keto. Lazy Keto is defined as not counting your macros. You just eat a high fat, moderate protein, low carb diet. But I overeat. I find myself overeating and getting at a weight loss that worked for a long time, and then now it's stopped working. So I've had to go, whenever I have weight loss stalls, I immediately go back to tracking that fat, that protein, to make sure that and the carbs, to make sure I'm not going over on that. So for some examples would be for protein, I love ground beef, 20% ground beef, 80% ground beef. I love ribeyes. I love New York strip steak. See, we're talking fatty, like deprogramming the 1990s low fat meat. We eat high fat meat here. Like if you eat turkey, you probably want to have like the darker turkey meat. Or like turkey thighs because they're fatter, chicken thighs because they're fatter, whereas like a chicken breast circa 1999, you'd be like, yes, get that chicken breast. That's not enough fat probably, unless you smother it in some butter or use my Alfredo sauce that I have, use it maybe in my Indian curry crock pot, adding fats, say, to that chicken breast to make it higher fat. Protein, seafood, although scallops, scallops do have more carbs in it than one would think. Shrimp is a great option because you can dip it in butter, like if you have steamed shrimp. Lobster, crab legs is great dipped in butter because that would be the moderate protein with the high fat when you dip it in the butter. Pork, bacon, sausage, those are obvi though, and people I see like binge out on bacon, man. We don't have to eat all bacon. We don't have to eat all bacon as keto beginners on the ketogenic diet as a beginner. You don't have to binge out on bacon or sausage. There's other choices besides that. What is your favorite protein? Put that in the comments too. I would love to see. I know some people, sometimes I have bison. I like bison. There's a lot of varieties of where you don't have to have like the same protein every day. So fat examples would be grass-fed butter is awesome. The difference between grass-fed butter and regular butter is it tastes way better. I love Kerrygold butter. That's one of my go-tos for butter. It's really, really good. It tastes different. You can tell the taste difference. And cows that are grass-fed are not fed corn. So it's less inflammatory. So the less inflammatory properties, and it tastes better. So that's one. Olive oil, coconut oil, olive oil, coconut. MCT oil is one. People ask me, I love MCT oil. I have one, Omega Creamer. I have used them as affiliate before. I like them. I use that if I travel. And I like having coconut oil packets that travel well. If you saw my Amazon keto video, please go check that out. That I released that, I don't know, a couple days ago. That has my travel packets in there. That's good. Other fats. Bacon grease is one. Like I save my bacon grease. Hello, Southern cookers out there. Dr. Barry taught me this technique. You can leave your bacon grease without refrigerating it in just a jar. So I have one by my stove of where I like dump the bacon grease and then I'll cook with it. So those are some types of fats. I also like avocado oil. I'm really into that these days. I'm loving it. So low carb foods, we talked high fat, moderate protein. Now low carb vegetables is usually, so I'm going to talk about meal examples in a minute, but food for that low carb foods would be like cucumber, celery, spinach, romaine leaves. And I used to be like, oh man, that's so boring. But now I get seriously, like tonight I had 2 cups of cucumber. I was so excited. Who gets excited because 1 cup of cucumbers is 2 net carbs? Hello. That is exciting on my journey. Okay, so that was number 3 with some of my eatings. What else you can eat on keto? People ask, there are certain sugar-free products that you totally can have. Someone just gave 99 cents. I don't know what that means, but thank you. I don't know what that means about the money. Someone just made money, but thank you, whomever it is. Thank you, that's so much. So sugar-free products, there are certain approved who's the approver, I don't know, products that you can have, like Swerve, monk fruit, erythritol. I always want to say that, like, I feel like that's a dirty woman's spot. But I'm always kind of confused. Erythritol is one. So those, like, but one is stevia is one, but the packets, the yellow, what's it called? The yellow packets of sugar is not, because people ask all the time and I'm like, that's not one, and I always get it confused. Stevia is, but yellow pack, Splenda is not one. So I say with sugar-free products though, try to have fruit instead, but not that much fruit. So we can have fruit like berries, like a few, meaning like 4 or 3, raspberries, blackberries, strawberries, but blueberries have the most out of all the berries. Dun, dun, dun. We always thought blueberries are so good for us and antioxidants and stuff. It has a lot more carb count and sugar. It's the spiking of that. And if you're trying to lose weight through keto, this whole ball of wax is insulin management. It is not calories in, calories out. That is a lie. It's insulin management. The more you can flatline your insulin, the more weight you're going to lose, and then probably you're going to heal if you have insulin resistance. Any other insulin resistant people out there? Dr. Fung, Fung, I will put his book in the description link below, The Complete Guide to Fasting. He has tons of free videos about insulin and how like the calories in, calories out are not a good thing. So are you using pee sticks or blood sticks? That is our blood test. Awesome question. So if you go way back, like in my archives, I talk about pee sticks. You can use pee sticks maybe for day 1, day 2, but after that, I don't want to use curse words. I want to say it's BS. They're fake. And for companies that promote, oh, my product will make your pee stick higher, it's basically just expensive pee. I hate to tell people that like the first day or 2, yes, feel free, use them. But after that, blood is one, and breath. There are new breath ones that are coming out. I'm fascinated with. I may actually purchase one of the breath ones, but I love Keto Mojo. I will put that in the description link below too. I have a discounted code on that with them as an affiliate. I love them. And you can do with that your ketones, or your blood glucose to see. And you can use either or. However, insulin is not the same as blood glucose. They're different. Similar, but different. So when people think, oh, my insulin resistance is healed through that, it's not necessarily, and again, Dr. Fung has great videos on that. So I'm going to go back to talking about keto beginners. So pee sticks, save your money. Save your money. Seriously, just save your money. You don't need to use those. And I love the blood stuff to test it, but you really don't. If you know you're in ketosis, it takes 3 to 7 days to go into ketosis, your body to go into ketosis. Some people are fast learners and some people are turtles. Any other turtles out there? So it depends, 3 to 7 days, right? It takes a full 6 weeks for your body to feel the effects of ketosis. Y'all, that's a long freaking time. So if you're starting now at the beginning of April, it's going to be mid-May before you feel the full effects, the mental clarity, the energy. You may have sleeping troubles because it's going to start regulating with your hormones. You may feel those things. So sugar-free products, going back to that stalls a lot of people. And I encourage you, try to rip the Band-Aid. I got a Band-Aid. It's my little boy picked it up. My 3-year-old picked it up for me. It's a Little Mermaid. Rip the Band-Aid off if you can. I wish I did not have as many sugar-free products and the keto products at the beginning when I first started keto as a keto beginner. They stalled my weight loss. They really, really did. Again, that package thing, going back to about how they say carbs minus fiber minus the sugar alcohols. Who made up that rule, by the way? That's a fake rule. That's a fake rule. Do not follow that sugar alcohol thing. That is debunked. Probably Dr. Atkins was a brilliant man who started the keto movement, so to speak, but the people who have taken over Atkins' company and are promoting all of these, which I've had, and you can see them in my videos. I certainly have had them, so no shame, judgment, or condemnation on that, but they will stall, it stalls my weight loss. Some people totally can have them. Great, high five to you if you can have them. I prolong the pain on the weight loss journey by doing that, right? And so my suggestion for you is to avoid those. So how long, she said, if you're not hungry. If you're not hungry, yeah, if you're not hungry, don't eat. Oh, I get this asked all the time. I'm like, I'd love to have that problem. And sometimes I have that problem where I'm like, I'm not hungry. Great, ride that wave. If your intention is weight loss, right? Like some people have different intentions. I'm going to assume that if you're here for weight loss, that most people are here for weight loss. So if that is your goal, then don't eat. It's not a bad thing. It's really, really not a bad thing. And someone who's been recovered from an eating disorder, mostly recovered, it's not a bad thing to not eat. In fact, it's a rest for our bodies to not spike the insulin, right? Intermittent fasting is a beautiful thing. It is amazing. If you can get at least to the 16-hour mark of fasting, that starts autophagy, which I have other videos on. So, okay. So number 4, it was things that not to eat. So processed food. That was like the only one I put on my list. Processed food. Carbs is the other one, like no breads, no real sugars. If your little boy has a cupcake and he's just licking the icing off in front of you and he's got it all over his face, none of that. Not that I had that recently. So no sugar, like bakery goods, no carb, but you can make keto versions of those. And so I do want to be clear on that. If you need a keto version of something, like ideally the best possible meal you can have is a meat, and this is my opinion, humbly suggesting my opinion, a meat plus a fat plus a low carb vegetable. For me, satisfies me. Now, some people talk about carnivore keto, which is where you only eat meat products. I am not there. With my eating disorder, I know if I stopped having vegetables, I would totally binge out, eat. I would swing the pendulum way too far. I'm not there yet. I hope one day I will be, but I'm just not there yet, because that will really flatline your insulin, which is a good thing if you're trying to lose weight. So meats, so I like to have, for example, a ribeye steak, maybe with some, a cup of cucumber with a tablespoon or a teaspoon of olive oil on top and some apple cider vinegar on the cucumbers. Or I'll have a New York strip steak with, I'm using my hands tonight, guys. Hand motions are full force this evening. I know I'm gonna get comments, she uses her hands too much. Yes, I do. So a New York strip steak plus maybe 2 cups of romaine lettuce or 2 cups of spinach. Y'all, there is the power in chewing. If you are hungry, if you're really, have 2 cups of spinach and romaine lettuce, it is life changing. And have it with a tablespoon or 2 tablespoons of avocado oil or olive oil, whatever, just not vegetable oil. That would be a no-no. A vegetable oil would go into the no column. A canola oil would go into the no column. A palm oil would go into the no column. So going back, and peanuts. Some people get confused that that's keto. That's not keto. It's a low carb thing, but peanuts are technically legumes, and the keto police, will come after you. So ideally, the best nut that you can have is macadamia nuts, pecans, and walnuts. Usually walnuts and pecans are the cheapest to have with that. And 1/4 a cup, but that can also lead to weight loss stalls because people usually snack on those. So I would encourage you, if you're a snacker at night, if you can, now it depends, so everyone starts their keto journey at different phases, right? Like I came in a hot mess. I came in from a Weight Watchers of 20 years of Weight Watchers. Like I was on my first diet when I was 10. 20 years of Weight Watchers, I should have a wing there, and it was over 100 pounds overweight. It didn't work for me. And so breaking down all of that mental garbage that I had programmed in was challenging. My battery is going to die. I see my phone is blinking at me that it's going to die. So let me keep going until it dies, but let's make sure we hit that like button. Let's make sure we click subscribe. And at the end of this, in the description link, I will put my free weekly keto meal plan. It's my gift to you. Like, you don't have to buy it. Don't buy it from anybody. Save your hundreds of dollars and buy grass-fed meat or organic meat, but you don't also have to buy that. Do the best that you can afford. Different households have different things, and my meal prep, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, so totally up to you as to what you choose. So ideally I'll make like a pot roast with some radishes that taste like potatoes in there, and then maybe put a little sour cream or some oil on top of that. And again, meat plus a fat plus low carb vegetable, that'll keep you satiated too. If you're having high fat, you won't be hungry. Like how someone said, I'm hungry. That is what we want with keto. I'm going through I can feel it, going through a hormonal thing where I am more hungry than I normally am. And that's just riding the wave and being totally normal about it. So fasting is the biohack to add on to weight loss. If you like this video, I would love to do more on keto info. This is keto for beginners. Would you like to see a keto info, like a keto weight loss style video as my next one? I'm curious. Or any fasting questions. We didn't dive into fasting today, but someone said sardines are great. They are great. I've never had one though. I've got to have one. I'm going to sign off. My phone is going to die, but I love you guys so super much. Let's